Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's time for another game out of Group B. COD Crusaders going to be facing off against Noble Esports this time around. First time we've seen these teams today, and you know, it's going to be, I believe, second seed Noble Esports up against COD Crusaders, who were down in, I want to say 6th, but I can't remember.
Yeah, they were in 6th position, COD Crusaders, number 3 seed on Noble Esports, so a bit of a gap between the two of them in terms of points accrued during the first few weeks, but that doesn't matter now as we enter this group stages. Bologna, going to be the first ban off the table done by COD Crusaders. In response, Cabroken has been taken away by Noble.
A little bit more of an unusual pickup. That is basically down to, I believe it was Spectre playing a heck of a lot of Cabrakan during the earlier stages of the Challenger Cup for the summer split, so not really too surprising in that regard. Sylvana's going to be taken off the table, as well as Neith. Still, it's weird. The Heartseeker buff was what kind of brought her to light, but it wasn't just all about that Heartseeker. You touched on it earlier. Still a bit of an ambiguous pick, and still very strong, because you can still kind of go for that Heartseeker, and go in the Transcendence route as well. Kind of the same type of deal, just more damage later on.
Well, I mean, with the picks and bans coming through, what you generally see in the bans now is that there's always things left available. Athena was left up, locked in. Serqet available, Thor available as well. So a lot of gods that we've seen been picked up as first picks traditionally for a long period of time, actually slipping through the bans, and they're not even getting picked up. I mean, Athena was, but we can see across the way Noble Esports looking at this Apollo-Geb combination. Apollo seems to be the hunter that is rising to the occasion once again, back into competitive games.
Apollo loves Transcendence, especially because he can actually build that now with the change to the Bluestone last week is great for him. And not only that, he was starting to see some light. People's like, oh yeah, you know, Apollo's still good. His wave clear early on is not good at all still. So beautiful. Just, it's probably, he's almost not as bad as Shibalanke back in Season 1, but maybe a step above that or so. But he comes down to the late game. He has his passive for the extra attack speed, and then that Across the Skies is just such a useful utility ability, especially on a hunter. He's just such a great pick.
Well, Apollo also, you got to take into account the fact that the rest of the hunters have been hit by the Bluestone nerf, so they can't wave clear as effectively either. Apollo, with his passive, able to abuse the fact that he's going to get that in-hand auto-attack speed increase, so he can actually put out a lot more damage and just wave clear a little bit, just as good as some of the others. You can see Rama, Isis now picked up across the way. For the boys of COG, we'll see what they can actually do with that as COG Crusaders. I've got a nice lineup so far. Isis seems to be a predominant pick right now.
Yeah, she's very strong. I say without that Neith game brought in the mid lane a lot. Neith kind of gives Isis a bit of a hard time, but without that, Isis is really strong, very good early game pressure, probably one of, if not the best initial wave clear as far as mid lane majors are concerned. She can look to pressure people out. Spirit Ball is great setup. Circle of Protection is a great team fight. Silence can just ruin so many God's Day in the middle of a team fight. It's a long one as well once it's applied and once the ranks are into it. They're going to pick Serqet up on the other side for Noble Esports. Kind of snuck through the picks and bans earlier on, but being brought to the table should work out pretty well. A lot of early game pressure, a lot of anti-healing as well. Maybe help deal with that circle protection a little bit from that Isis later on.
Yeah, Agni also locked in as well there now for Noble Esports. Good pick up against Isis. It's a good matchup between the two of them as well. Good control is Agni. Probably one of the best all-round mages in the game right now. That provides everything he really needs to from a safe distance as well. Thor, though, still available here, Zide, and I'm going to be interested to see if they actually do go for that one.
They have the option. It's not banned out. It's available. She's a strong all-around god as well. Anvo Dawn have that kind of double, semi-global, ultimate triple, actually, if you count Rama in that equation. It would definitely add a lot to the table. What do they have otherwise to look at? Well, speaking about otherwise, Kuang getting hovered. We saw him play it a couple times earlier today. Very strong in general as a jungler. A lot of damage, good mobility. It doesn't really offer a lot in the way of crowd control necessarily, as it does get locked in along with Sun Wukong. So we'll have to see how that one plays out because, like you said, Thor was available.
Well, Kuang's starting to come back in now thanks to the changes to his ultimate. We've seen a lot more play from him. He's not a weak god by any stretch of the imagination. He's just very difficult to confirm the damage on for most of the time because you have to chase down those targets. Serqet very mobile, as is Kuang in the jungle. So we'll see how those two play out. Loki, going to be the last pick for Noble Esports here. Going to be facing off against that Sun Wukong in the solo lane, more than likely between the two of them. And we'll see what they can actually do. On paper, I'm really liking both sides here. A little bit on the squishy side of Noble Esports, however. And that could come back to bite them if they don't get off to a very good start.
That said, though, Loki will be able to just... He gets... Kuang, if Loki runs into him, will just pretty much die flat out. There's really not much counterplay option on the back to assassinate, because Kuang likely will pick up that Hand of the Gods early on. Ice is similar, but Ram, same type of deal. So if Cypher gets going with that Loki, Serqet as well, on a just out of that jungle, could ruin many people's day. But like I said, a little squishy. Let's see how they play this one out.
Let's find out, guys. We'll be right back after this short break as we get ourselves loaded into the game and bring you all the action from this round 1 game of Noble Esports versus COG Crusaders.
All right, guys, we are back, and yeah, it's going to be Noble Esports facing off against the other guys. Apparently, things did not auto-update themselves, Hindu. Totally not my fault. Never my fault.
They never update themselves. COG Crusaders versus Noble Esports. COG Crusaders will be sat on the bottom half of the screen on the left-hand side of the spectator UI, and you can see that they've already warded deep up on this left-hand side, getting an early ward down. Noble Esports being very wise and just playing it very safe early on. They don't want to get picked at the start of this game. I'm just going to play for the safer options for now.
Yeah, a couple words dropped down, really not much else. That said, once this game gets underway, it looks like back Harpy starts being started by the left-hand sides of the map. Like you said earlier in the, one of the previous games, you get to lane a little bit of an experience advantage. You can look to shove in quickly with that bit of an advantage. Invade possibly coming out. Looks like COG Crusaders looking for Noble Esports side of the jungle. They're going to get spotted out. Cypher just caught vision of that.
Just in time caught vision of it as well, so they'll know he's coming over. But what are they actually going to be able to do to stop this? Because Cypher does not have a hog here, and they're just going to be able to hog this down and do it. Loki with the decoy, as is going to help them assist in bringing down that buff. And Spectre going to pick up that blue buff of the game, deny that from Loki. And one thing to note with the Bluestone changes, we're not going to see Loki running that as often, which means mana and blue buff is very important to him.
Yeah, this is actually how Cypher runs the Loki, even with Bluestone available pre-nerf. He never picked it up in general. He knows the first, like, 7-8 levels of the game are going to be absolutely horrible for him, especially because the mana buff, like you said, is such a prime target for being stolen away. Once he gets to that point, however, he's not going to care because the decoy will start killing the waves off in one shot. He can decoy and just look to roam the map. And you touched on no hog. He's going to have an extra active available. Pick up teleport, and then have the option of picking up something as well. Beads,
probably exactly. Beads as well, yeah. Left-hand side, though, we did see both the back Harpies taken by both COG Crusaders and Noble Esports. They both opted for that option. It really does help out, like I said, the duo lane. I keep repeating this. Helps out the duo lane quite a lot in these engagements. Gets them to level 2 before they even get to lane, and it forces less of a bad situation at level 1 if you get there ever so slightly a second late, and the other team hits 2 before you.
Yep. Also touch on the duo lane. Junipera plays Geb in a very unique fashion, basically compared to every single other support in Challenger or SPL level play. She's one of the few people who actually makes use of the punt component of the rollout. Roll around the walls, punting people back as poke and harass, rather than using the wave clear. It's an interesting kind of trade-off. They place pretty well, so it seems to work out well for those guys. But against the Athena taunts, they have to be very careful that Junipera is not too far forward and in a bad spot on the back of it.
Well, Xenotronics is gone for the Morningstar. He's going to be going into that Transcendence. Meanwhile, across the way, Lou decided to go for the Death's Toll Spike Gauntlet start. So working on this Devourer's Gauntlets. So 2 different options picked up by the Hunters here. As this game goes on, we'll find out exactly which one ends up coming out on top because of it.
What's your favorite of the 2?
I'm not so sure right now. The meta's kind of differentiating between the 2. I like the idea of Transcendence just because it's going to give you more mana, but... The lifesteal does allow you to go Furious, and the trades, as you can see, Lou is winning them.
And right now, Xenotronics very much wishes he had that lifesteal. His health bar is very low. Health pot's ticking away. He'll have about 350 or so health. He still has a potion in reserve. But, yeah, it's going to be rough going forward. He has to be very careful. He'll have more damage once the Transcendence comes online. But he's about to be in a 1v1 situation because supports are going to be leaving here in just a moment for those mid-Harpies.
The one thing to note as well, the Hunter with the Charged Morningstar start will have more physical power overall and more well, not necessarily sustain, but mana to actually abuse because of the MP5 and the mana included in the kit. While Death's Toll across the way, it does give you more HP, and it also gives you a little bit less damage and more survivability with the lifesteal of the Devourer's Gauntlet, so the Spike Gauntlet beginning. So it's kind of a trade-off. Left side though, Harpy's going to be contested.
PK has 2 bombs here, can follow across the skies as well. They want this fight. They want to find first blood, so Harpy camps to see if they can actually secure that one. Circuit Protection gets detonated for a decent bit of healing. They will survive and able to disengage safely. Right side was a back and forth. Cypher not necessarily losing that trade with Spectre, but not sure who got the camp.
COD Crusaders come out on top. If you check the experience in gold graphs right now, they managed to get both of those camps in that little engagement there. We did see, you know, Adjust went aggressive, looked for the pick, but the rest of the team went on the front line that was ahead of them. They ignored what he focused on with his last breath, and everybody ends up living because of that on the side of COD Crusaders, and they come out on top.
Yep, so for now, things a little bit skewed towards COD Crusaders, but yeah, it's early. It's a small lead, maybe a couple potions, an active or two, maybe on 1 or 2 gods. Heartseeker, though, was just picked up for Cypher. That's going to kind of make things a little bit easier for him. Another level or 2. He'll be able to safely farm up in that solo lane against Spectre's son, Wukong. Elsewhere on the map, too many apples. It's Isis. She's not really going to be too worse to wear against BK Haze Agni. Duo lane, though, we touched on it. That's Transcendence versus Death's Toll. Devour's got let's start. Xenotronics supposed to be very, very careful in that matchup because he might have a little bit more mana, but his health bar, no health pots left either, so he's going to have to be careful not to take too much poke. Of course, going back to base finish with the Transcendence, I'm sure he's happy about that right now.
Yeah, he'll be fine. On the right side, we spoke about Cypher with the Heartseeker, but Mystical Male being rushed here by Spectre on this Sun Wukong is going to be quite annoying for the Loki to have to deal with. We won't necessarily kill him, but the constant poke and the chance of trying to catch him during Vanish is always a threat and a possibility of picking up some extra damage onto him and even hunting him down a little bit easier. Left hand side, we're going to see the Hunters Lou and Juniper just back away after they push this wave in. A good hold of the wave by Collateral to make sure Xenotronics will be back here for those stacks.
Yeah, so we'll see how this one plays out. Transcendence online, Devour's Golems both online at the same time. A few less stacks on the Transcendence, as well as more power being built up in a short order, but that lack of sustain could still potentially be an issue for him. Elsewhere, my curious one late game is going to be if Loki picks up the teleport, which let's face it, given the situation, he doesn't have Hog, he's probably going to. Spectre's kind of going to need to go that same route, which kind of leaves him an active down because there's that Hog. If he's not going to be looking to contest objectives or the potential to contest the objective doesn't arise, the Hog's not really going to help him as the game progresses.
Depending on how long this game goes, I'm going to start siding on the side of Noble Esports with their composition more, just because of the Loki pickup more than anything. And the Apollo on top of that, they can both split push if they need to. On top of the fact that Loki can just go in and annihilate too many apples, Xenotronics, or Firewing if he wants to. But there's not a whole lot anyone could really do against the Loki when he just goes in with the full build all-in combo. So this game kind of has a timer on it. In mid lane though, too many apples, bit of trouble.
Yep, getting tossed back out of that one. Trying to damage Firewing, trying to find that kill. First Blood's still on the table as well. They're both going to be able to disengage safely from that engagement. You have to watch out from the back.
Cypher, though. Cypher comes in with the assassinate. That will be First Blood going over to him. Firewing going to be annihilated, but now Cypher's in trouble as well, trying to juke it down, but the Spirit Bomb connects. The bomb will save the life of his teammate, and he's going to try and vanish away, but Spectre is going to find him.
First cudgel missed. Second one, not quite so much. Was that the cudgel was interrupted there? Or what? I don't even know what happened with that.
I think cudgel was interrupted. That's why it wasn't on cooldown, so he could fire it off again straight away afterwards. So it was a good interrupt from the Agni's stun and the knock up from Juniper as well. So good work from them. Lou trading out with Xenotronics here, getting shut down. Can't use the moves. It actually got cancelled by the rollout. Xenotronics Spirit Ball over the wall will connect, and the snipe is ready. And that is a dead Lou. Great combo by COD Crusaders to get themselves a pick. They can look for the Gold Fury now.
They found this especially. That first blood was an even trade with Cypher in mid lane falling, but with Gold Fury being brought down very, very quickly, COD Crusaders just went ahead and slingshot themselves up just a little over 1,000 gold in the lead. As Collateral now looking for kills. Bombs coming down from Agni though, doing work, just finds the first one. Poison up in the air. Spectre gonna heal up a little bit and jump back down.
So Wukong's gonna go back in. He will help out with Xenotronics here to just onto one, but Cypher is actually gonna come around the back, vanish and annihilate the Sun Wukong monkey. The silence comes out, not really connecting. The path of flames is good. The ticks are burning on too many apples. It won't be enough to kill him. Xenotronics is here to pick up this kill. No, it won't. It'll go to too many apples, and that is the end of the engagement, as it was a crazy trade backwards and forwards.
It was. COD Crusaders, though, came out ahead 2 kills for 3. Again, extending their golden experience lead just a little bit further ahead of Noble Esports. You touched on the team comps later on. Noble's maybe scaling better into the late game overall, but they have to get to that point beforehand. COD Crusaders looking to try and prevent that. You can see on the gold graph, things were pretty much even. But with that Gold Fury and a couple kills, shot up in favor of COD Crusaders by a decent little bit.
Well, let's see what goes on with the rest of the game. 8 minutes in now. Harpy's down for a while. Gold Fury also dropped in favour of COG. They're going to rotate around, looking for Lou again. The move's already used, and that was a good taunt, but there's no follow-up yet from Xenotronics. He opts for the safer side and just goes back to farming, getting these Morningstar stacks, so these Transcendent stacks up, which are nearly completed right now. Devour's Gauntlet's still about 50 stacks away from being finished, but we get a rotation coming out from Adjust.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find something on this one. Waiting, looking for the opportunity, not sitting on a ward as we saw so many times so far today. Not going to be able to look for it though. They saw the counter rotation coming on in to look to stop that and possibly catch somebody out instead. The Devourer's Gauntlet stacks that you touch on 50 stacks off, it's about half as many as Rom. They picked those up at the same time. You can see level and gold differences as well really starting to come into play with Rom. Xenotronics is sitting up almost 1,000 gold, 2 levels up, plus a lot of stacks ahead.
That's kills really more than anything else that's 4-star. The kills that he picked up, the 3, as well as the gold fury is the big differential between the two of them. It's not that Luz really played badly. I mean, he did get caught ever so slightly, but right inside Serqet, actually thought she was jumping over from the right, but no, she's going to do a speed buff. Ignore me for now. As we might see Junipera getting aggressed on here.
A little back and forth both. BK Haste, though, and Lu nearby. Engagement's about to start of those.
Lu's in trouble.
He is bird bombs coming, or bird bombs. Agni bombs coming on down from the skies as Lu taking a lot of poke in the backside of this fight. They look to disengage, chasing them off and just arriving to the party. Just enough to do exactly that.
Good work from Too Many Apples so far. 1-0 and 4. Been involved in every single kill in this game. He's had good use of his circle of protections, and his spirit balls have been on point. We're seeing the rise of Isis at the moment, and people really starting to bring out her actual full skill level. She's a very difficult god to master, but if you can play her well, it's fantastic.
Yep, she's an interesting god in that regard. A lot of people think, oh, she's an early game god, can't really do much later. There's still a lot of plays that have a lot of damage you can potentially throw out.
I mean, people say she has a bad late game. She doesn't. It's just hard to get her damage off. It's a little bit like Fenrir. But if she does land a Spirit Ball followed by Circle Protection on a Hunter, they're dead. It's a 2-shot.
We saw it last game, Isis, just Spirit Ball, Circle Protection, one Wing Gust, and just picking up a Thor from full health. I mean, the damage is there. If she is all down to that Spirit Ball, which, like I said, not always the easiest thing to actually confirm damage off of.
Well, left-hand side, they might actually see a pick from a Just coming out, but Collateral's going to spot that one in the jungle. Lu has to deal with a full minion wave. He's actually going to go in, forced to roll. The taunt connects, but luckily for him, Collateral was in position to actually make him run onto the taunted target of his teammate.
I'm curious about how this next fight's actually going to break out. Gold Fury is going to be up in about 1 minute and 20 seconds, and Noble Esports have a little bit of an opportunity right now. Spectre went for the Mystical Mail. He rushed that down early on. He picked that up. He finished it off. He doesn't have teleport online, whereas Cypher does. So if he's in a situation where Gold Fury is about to be started, he can teleport across the map and actually join that fight, while Spectre's left in a situation where, yeah, I can turn into a bird and fly quickly towards the other side of the map. I still have a long walk to actually join it up. So I'm curious if Noble Esports is going to kind of look to make use of that. I'll call it a bit of a timing push, sort of. Not necessarily a timing push, but that window of opportunity to make use of that active advantage they have in that soul lane.
It's likely we're going to see BK Haste, and sorry, not BK Haste, Spectre go into teleport eventually anyway. It's normal for him to do that up against the Loki. Going to be able to use the ability to just rotate himself around the map and keep up with the Loki teleportations coming into the engagements. Quick pause screen, as you can see, guys. Asi was built second for Xenotronics there, as you can see. And he's going to pick that one up for himself to go alongside that Transcendence. And so he's going to get that lifesteal, which is pretty much the build I expected to see when people started going with this Transcendence build.
Yeah, it works out pretty well. It's not really much different from what we saw with the Heartseeker builds a little while back. Yeah, losing a little bit of speed from it. The Heartseeker had some speed, kind of made up for the fact that you're not picking up boots as a second item. Transcendence, you lose that option. You'll be doing more damage, and if you play it safe, especially in lane, if you keep vision up, you keep positioning safe, make sure you know where people are, you're probably not really going to be in a situation where you're going to be punished for not having boots for the most part.
As long as you keep rolling and keep the taunts available for himself from Athena, Collateral with that Defender of Olympus will be able to help him out. As well as the ult as well, obviously going to pay into that. We're going to be seeing the Demonic Grip more than likely coming out as well from Firewing KK on this Kuang. And Runeforged Hammer also being worked on by Spectre, so he's going to be going for the very tanky option, which makes sense. He's just going to make sure he doesn't get full comboed by an Agni. He should be good.
Oh, here's that Gold Fury respawn. Noble Esports already nearby. Teleport, little window of opportunity, not really coming to play right now. Defender of Olympus might, however, as Firewing's chasing forward with the Athena attached. Gonna drop on down, final taunt. No follow-up damage. The Spirit Ball does miss.
Oh, Rama is up. Those Xenotronics looking for the snipes. Finds one and the second one. He's picking his targets, but doesn't find the third for the time. That's 2 ultimates wasted. And there's a blink initiation from Junipera as well. Apollo goes to the sky. They're going to dunk down as Loki comes in with the assassinate. Lu takes that Firewing, and now with the circle of protection down, they're trying to survive and heal the teammates up. The Wingus is doing well from 2 apples, but Lu is about to go down on the backside to Collateral, and the fight is going crazy as 2 members of Noble Esports fall, and it was their engagement.
Yeah, BK Haste now getting forced away, as is Cypher dropping one more decoy down just for a little bit of a, yay, I'm still here. Just is waiting in the backlines right now. The last breath has already been used, however, so no real kill potential coming out from that one.
no ultimates on anybody right now, so keep an eye on where this goes. I think COD Crusader could potentially try and go for this Gold Fury if they feel comfortable to. They can attempt it. They've got some Wukong coming back and Kuang, and I think that's what they're waiting for here. But respawns are low at the moment, Zide, and that means the reinforcements and Noble are coming too.
Oh yeah, they're going to be on their way back quickly. That fight basically just went wrong on the back of grouping up on a circle of protection, plus a silence stopping a stone shield coming out from Junipera before she was actually brought down in that fight. Had Junipera been able to throw the stone shield herself, maybe stayed alive for one more shockwave, would have kept Lu alive a little bit longer. It was kind of a domino effect on Junipera just getting burst down that quickly. Once Juni fell, the front line basically collapsed. There was nobody tanky left in there. Lu fell in short order because he was right behind her. BK Hayes was nearby, or excuse me, just doesn't live. BK Hayes, I think, did. I don't know, someone didn't live. But nevertheless, it kind of just all crumbled very, very quickly.
It's going again as the wing goes on Junipera are huge, and she's going to get dropped down to collateral again. The taunt paying dividends. Now the Gold Fury is going to be sieged. BK Haste is in the area. A couple of bombs still available for him, but what can they do to stop this from being done? The reset has happened, but COD Crusaders get it for collateral. Cypher on the backside trying to do what he can to bring down a target. Not going to find anyone. Now he's going to run for his life, popping the beats preemptively. Snipes her in the sky.
Third shot will not connect. Force Uzi assassinate just to get out of that one safely. Spectre's lurking nearby, trying to, maybe they stuck around a little too long, looking for that lazy back maybe. But they went well back behind the tower just to make sure he can get out safe. These fights have been pretty messy going so far. And that, we saw that pick on the Junipera, basically a Spirit Bomb to the Wingus. That's with a Heart Ward Amulet instead of a Sovereignty Rush, as we typically see. That's magical protections online for Juni. She's still getting
Apollo's coming in with the dump. Gonna follow him with Junipera with the Cataclysm still under the tower. Multiple members of COD Crusaders here, but too many apples. Picks up the kill on a Just who came in for the re-engage. Junipera's in trouble again. The Spirit Ball not gonna find his target. Lu manages to dash away, but the tower goes down and Loki is here.
He was in the middle of that one, but all on his own, did not want to engage in a 1v5 situation. Probably the wise decision of the possible ones in there. So they're going to disengage. Tier 1 fell. The Gold Fury, excuse me, just prior to that. COD Crusaders are slowly but surely building themselves a nice golden experience lead in this game.
They really are. 5,000 experience, 5,000 gold lead for them as well. The 6th seeded team coming into this, having their way so far with the 3rd seeded Noble Esports, who everybody expected to potentially top this group out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw up in the Group A earlier as well, no one got out of that one unscathed without a defeat. Even High-Five getting brought down as first seed. So EU has been like this the entire way through. After week 1 for NA, it's been the exact same situation. If you asked me to make predictions who is going to be making it through to the finals after week 7, I could speculate, but I would likely be wrong in whatever I would end up picking.
It's too early to tell. Nobody can be defeated after the first week of these group stages. I mean, they can have really bad runs and go 0-3, but you can't actually be eliminated because there's always still hope for you going into the second week. We'll find out how that plays out because we're still on the first week. This is game 2 of the Group B matchups, and then we'll be following up with the last one later on of the ones we're going to be streaming. But right inside, we're going to see a Just rotating around for Spectre here. He's not stepped on a ward, but I think they thought he was on one, and then just going to back away.
Yeah, left side tier 1 tower about to fall. Nobody nearby to defend that one. Sometimes just grouping up early on. If you group up for a tower, what's the worst that happens? We have to back off. No one responds to it. Hey, we get a tower. A tower for a left side Harpy camp. That's the tower.
They're going to keep going.
Yeah,
they're going to keep going on this side. The tier 2 tower is slowly falling. The boys of Noble Esports not in a great position right now. Junipera trying to get some sort of angle. You see Just actually jump towards his teammate to get himself in a better position of defense. But that tower got chipped hard side on that 1 minion wave, and they're going in again.
And they're about to bring it down. Juni using the Cataclysm, trying to stop this from occurring, but the health bar just drops so quickly in this one. Rama up in the air. This could be a kill. Gonna need all 3 shots for this as Loki does teleport on over to this one. Jimmy happens in the back, a lot of damage coming out. Barely surviving, but the poison's good for the kill.
Loki does not teleport over because he got CC'd out by Spectre, and Spectre's chasing him all the way down to base. So we go back into the farther left. The Path of Flames using the tier 2 tower does fall down and Just has to disengage from Firewing, who's chasing for the kill. Not going to find anything as the Serenade comes out from Lu to disengage, but now he has to use beads after getting hit by the taunt too. And this is going to give time for Spectre and Right to take the tier 1.
Yeah, this is COD Crusaders right now is playing this match really, really well. Typically, we don't see teams forcing fights until the Gold Fury or the Fire Giant back up. COD Crusaders are saying, we have a lead. Let's go ahead and make use of this. What's the worst that happens? We don't get a tier 1 tower. What's the worst that happens? We don't get the tier 2 tower. Okay, yeah, too many apples died. That was a 2,000 gold trade for 1 kill. That's worth it.
Well, Spectre did good work over the right-hand lane too to make sure Loki couldn't teleport in. Obviously used the 72 transformations to make sure that he could stun him with the cat form, stop him from getting there. Now he forced to teleport to the tier 1 tower on right-hand side instead. And that means that's going to be on cooldown, so there's no threat for this next Gold Fury of a cheeky Loki potentially coming in. Actually, maybe it's going to be close if they don't go for it straight away.
Yeah. They'll live for the time being. They could potentially push this tier 1 on the right lane down, kind of answer back finally. Nothing else to push the way forward. They're going to stick around just for that. 3 members of Crusaders, though, already heading towards the side of the map. There's actually an Athena hiding in there as well. There's a lot of mobility, a lot of invisibility as well to help get out of this one, but if they get locked down by a taunt...
rotation.
Yeah.
Big rotation, and they're not going to find the taunt onto it just to ambushes away. Now, Serqet not going to be really picked off here. He's going to get forced to use the assassinate, though. I just stayed in a little bit too long, but Warriors beats to get away, but can the snipe land?
Second one doesn't. Third one does not connect either. Those were blind shots behind the wall. You're going to get a tier 1 tower in the back rotation anyway, so it worked out for them in the end.
It was close because I actually thought on the left-hand side we'd see Apollo pick up that tower, but a good rotation from Spectre, keeping an eye on Apollo to make sure he doesn't get that tier 1 for free over in that left-hand lane after that big rotation from Crusaders. They're coming out on top of these engagements every time.
They've been spot on with the rotations and setting up good plays. They have that taunt to start fights. They have too many apples who has been on point with those spirit balls. It's a really good play setup and combination from those guys. Firing his wing as well as on that Kuang. Hasn't really done too much so far in the big team fights, but he just got the demonic grasp online. It's going to be a lot more damage coming out, and expect to see him start shooting up that damage chart a little bit.
Well, 2 players of COG doing the Gold Fury. It looks like Noble Esports are just giving this one away right now. You see the pings in mid lane to the right-hand tower saying, hey, someone's going to go and defend against Loki soon, but in the mid lane, just got caught out and picked off by Spectre and Firelink.
Yeah, teleport is still available for Loki as well, so they have to be careful. If they want to group up mid and look for this tier 2 tower, they could definitely look for that. However, Loki would teleport over, and right now Spectre is over there. Teleport was picked up, but it's on cooldown already from that last engagement, so the option is not there for a little while. I'm not sure if Noble Esports are aware if it's on cooldown. Apollo's up in the air right now. See if they look to dive down. He will go for Xenotronics.
He does get some damage job, but immediately he's a Spirit Ball, followed by a Silence. Lou in a lot of trouble. Will disengage. Serqet tries to come in, find the vanish damage, but he's not going to either. Lou has to recall back to base. He's not going to have anything else left to defend this tower. But luckily, there's no minion wave just yet, so they've got a few seconds to buy to get him back, as well as Adjust will be on line 2. Can Noble engage?
Is going to be good. As Xenotronics now looking to dish out the damage. Cypher running for his life, up in the air, snipes. 1 misses, 2 connects, 3rd shot could be a kill. It's going to be a blind one because of the vanish. Not going to connect, and Cypher will survive yet another engagement. There's a beautiful 4-man Cataclysm from Junie on that one, but the follow-up damage just not there to find those first kills and set that fight rolling in their favor.
Now this time around, and the gold lead experience lead still staying in COG Crusaders' favor. They've had the opportunity so far in this game to get themselves into a great spot and keep this lead, honestly. This is the one thing I saw from Noble Esports' side. They looked a little bit squishy, was one of the problems. They have Junie on that get, but that's the only sort of front line they've really got to the name. I mean, Loki and Serqet can both dive in, but for how long can they stay in combat for? Because against the amount of CC that COG Crusaders have, it can cause some issues.
Another issue as well, Juniper is a little bit behind 2 levels, about a full item worth of gold at this point as well. I don't know where the gold and Athena actually went. How much in hands? Not much. Basically, the Shelf Absorptions online is going to mitigate a lot of damage coming out. Agni is all about that AoE damage. When you're getting that extra 50 protections plus the percentage off that Shelf Absorption, you're going to be taking a heck of a lot less from that damage.
I mean, it's kind of normal for a support to be behind by up to 2 levels over the other support, just based on how the game's going. There's 3 Gold Furies down as well, so the gold lead that Athena's got there, most of that is really coming from that, as well as the towers as well. So that's where you're seeing some of the experience lead, as well as the 2 kills are really helping that little lead. So Junie, she's going to be okay, but the problem is that she needs to be... obviously, she wants more levels just so she's able to deal with the frontline burst that's coming out.
Yeah, it's kind of been the issue. Junie's going in, like we saw, that 4-man Cataclysm was brilliant. The problem is she's still very squishy. She blinks forward and just gets melted apart and really can't look to be that frontline, support tank that you want out of your support. Speed buff steal, calling all the other different things that are incorrect. Spirit Ball, again, coming out from too many apples, connects, just look for damage on the fire wing. The poison's going to do some work, but they're going to look for disengage. Lou actually has different plans.
Oh, Lou's going to go in. Great Cataclysm from Junie. Paris sets that up and actually secures the kill. Lou might be able to find a second one on too many apples. No, he will not. Has to back away. On the backside, though, Spectre does teleport in, zone away the rest of the team as well. The ultimate available from Collateral here if he needs it. And Spectre doing good work to just zone everybody back. As the kill did go to Noble Esports, but they don't manage to find anything off the back of it.
Yeah, unfortunately for those guys, they're going to be a little counter-warding on the Fire Giant. Neither one of these teams really can look to start this one up right now. Too many members on Noble Esports still full health. Everyone's pretty much at full health right now, but the problem is going to be Crusaders to be Xenotronics trying to be cheeky and bait someone. Is going to pull Junie forward, admittedly, but he has, oh, okay, I see what's going on. I'll just, shield myself, make sure there's no other, no spirit balls over the wall or anything like that to lock me down, and I'll roll out back away from that.
Well, that's what Junie's got to do now. Because of no vision, they have to have a person in position to see if the Fire Giant's been started. Just here, just rotate in here. Maybe be able to look at picking Xenotronics, sees the Fire Giant isn't being done. This is allowing Loki and Apollo to do what they can do in terms of split push him, which allows them back into this game. If they can just abuse this and defend the Fire Giant, they can start to bring down some of these towers, get some experience for themselves, get themselves farming still, just to catch themselves up.
Oh, if they're aware of the fact that Noble Esports could push for something on this right side of the map right now, because Cypher does have teleport up off cooldown and Spectre does not. The problem is going to be Spectre actually, or Cypher rather, being able to get to a spot where he can use it successfully, because Spectre is chasing him through that jungle right now, so the opportunity really is not there. This could be it. They look for the engagement right now. He's going to go back to base, but Spectre's right heading to that right side of the map.
Good juke out by Cypher there over Spectre, who's trying to rotate and chase onto him. Spectre going to rotate mid lane. He's going to be fine. He's quite hard to bring down for any of the physical damage dealers here with that Mystical Mail and that Reinforced Hammer online. Decent damage online now with that Jotuns as well. But with this positioning, Crusaders have got themselves an opportunity to start pressuring this tier 2 right again. And Justice here and Apollo's in the sky.
Yep, Firewing and Bad Spot have to force back once again. We see the rain fire bombs from Agni coming on down. They're going to look to disengage a little bit. Firewing has been in a rough spot. It's basically down to that low health pool. You get caught by anything, he's forced out of the fight immediately.
Well, he's the one that's being focused every team fight because he's up in their mix, he's up in their faces, and even if he is going down, his team is still coming out on top. He's been the most deaths for a reason. He's one of the only guys that has to get in close that has a squishy health pool, so it's not a surprise that he's going to have the highest death count for this team. But if what he's doing is he's allowing the rest of his team to do what they're doing best. Rama 4-0-4. Isis in the mid lane 2-1-7, been involved in the majority of these kills as well. And even some Wukong is getting in there and staying alive because of it. Yep.
Well, they are playing it quite well. Fire Giant Dance sort of on at this point in time. The word battle, not quite so much. Both teams pretty much dry in that department. They need to go back to base, buy some more. But at the same time, they don't want to do that because that could just signify the opportunity for the enemy team to just push in for a fight. Cypher, that Loki, doing what Loki does.
He's going to get some opportunity to defend, to get some power onto this, and I don't think Spectre can really defend this. Although, I'm surprised Cypher didn't just go and take down the tower. He could have potentially done that still, and he decided the side of caution instead. Right-hand side, though, they're pressuring again, looking for this tier 2 called Crusaders.
Yep, they are going to be looking for this one as they push that wave of minions forward one more time. You see BK Hasajuni right in position to stop that from getting to the tower.
Loki should be teleporting soon. Loki should be teleporting very, very soon over to this right-hand side. There's wall placements to try and catch them out of position. Yep. Is he going to do for it? Is he waiting to see if Sun Wukong stays for one more wave is the question. I think he wants to rotate because he knows Sun Wukong does not have that ultimate, so that teleport available anymore. Yep. I'm surprised they didn't potentially look for a fight.
And have to be careful. Spectre has, for the most part, been on point with rotations when that teleport has been down. The opportunity is there for Cypher to teleport over and make it a 4v5 fight on the right-hand side of the map, but they hadn't really had the opportunity to capitalize on that.
He's going to backdoor. Cypher's going to backdoor the tier 2 tower. He's going right around the back. Going to drop the decoy to avoid some of the damage. Also, classes as a minion, so actually stops the backdoor protection for a second. Cypher gets the tier 2 tower in left. That's a free gold fury worth of gold there for his team to catch Noble back up.
And it's Loki, let's face it. He was no real chance of him getting caught there unless he fell asleep at the keyboard mid escape. Some back and forth going on right side of the map right now. No real damage. Neither one of these teams really wants to commit because they both know that they lose this next fight, that will be a Fire Giant buff for the enemy team. So they're kind of playing it safe. They're looking for that someone really being out of position. In the case of perhaps a Lu getting caught out at the tier 2 tower by Spectre.
Yeah, Lou's kind of swinging around with that across the sky. Not going to find anything. Taunt to Junie Parry does connect though. They're trying to burst it down quickly. Good Cataclysm comes out, but she will go up in the air. Not an execute though. Finally she falls. The reinforcements of Noble Esports are here, but the damage is done. And COD Crusaders can now turn to the Fire Giant. And I don't think they have a Hog 3 available elsewhere. Yes, they do. No, they don't.
Nope. I'm not sure. We'll verify that in a second. COD Crusaders will sneak that Fire Giant in. Nevertheless, that's across all 5 members. That's regen damage to towers, stats, and stuff. The Fire Giant is delicious, and everyone loves to have it. All 5 members do. Tier 2 mid, last tower standing on the mid center. That's tier 2. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, Hindu. Tower in the middle.
This is really good work from COD Crusaders. They're looking very, very strong right now. performing very well up against Noble Esports, and now they're going to get themselves a big win in the very first game. If they can keep this pressure on and get this Phoenix here, just watch for the picks of the combination. There's a Just going in now, got to get the damage, but has to disengage immediately. Spectre able to tank up a lot.
He's going to go up onto that somersault cloud as well, heal up, regen a little bit, and then leap on back out to safety. 72 transformations up and available if he were to need it. Just trying to give chase, but not able to get into Cobra's Kiss range and lock him down. Unless he hangs around a little too long, but reinforcements still right around the corner. They're going to look for the tier 2 tower, look to divide and conquer, pop a bubble or two on the Magi's Blessing. That tier 2, final one on the map for Noble, just fell.
Just fell down as well, extending their gold lead again, but at least their Phoenixes are still standing for now. Noble Esports do have a pretty good composition for defense because of the Agni. Junipero can initiate for them as well and create a ton of damage. And Loki doing what he can. I like what Cypher's doing. He's always off split pushing, but this might not be the best call now because they realize this and they're trying to abuse it.
The Phoenix is going to fall. Junie now in a bad spot. Will get brought down up in the air. He's going to have that dragon. Too many apples end up getting the kill. It's now going to be a 5v4 going forward. Loki's still split pushing. They're cutting off that minion reinforcement. He's going to be able to bring that Phoenix down if nobody else goes back to stop him. But
they'll turn the Phoenix to the left-hand side. I mean, they've got circle protection down and just eats the Spirit Ball on the backside as Lou gets forced out on the front side. Snipes coming out from Xenotronics. I don't think he's really going to find anything. Nope, cancels that one out and actually drops it down. Loki, though, will find the Phoenix on the left, but it looks like COD Crusaders want the Phoenix on the right. They're going to go for all three.
Why not? It's there.
Risky.
It's good. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play this one off the fence. In the backside, adjusts very low. Spectre will find that kill. Cypher answers straight back. That's going to be one member down from COD Crusaders, but the damage may already have been done to their base. The final Phoenix about to fall as it does drop.
They do. Judy comes in with the Cataclysm, but Too Many Apples immediately uses the beast to disengage. Cypher, though, with the Assassinate onto Firewing, does secure that pick up. Apollo in the sky. Is he really thinking about going in for this? I don't think he has changed his mind, as now Noble Esports at 30 minutes in this game are really up against it with all three Phoenixes being down.
The scary bit as well, Fire Giant buff still on 3 members of COD Crusaders. Athena has it for that regen. For any poke she takes, trying to free that frontliner. Xenotronics still has it as well. The AD carry, that's generally the one you want to have it on if you have to choose one member of your team. They have a very strong lead. It's about 11,000 gold right now. They have the experience lead. Look at all those level 20 or 2, excuse me. And actually, experience still in their favor as well. They could look to close this game out in very short order. They have a minute still in the Fire Giant buff, but I wouldn't be too surprised to see them take the safe route, wait for the Fire Giant to come up in 2 minutes, and then look to push the base out the back of the next one. Because
they can. I mean, the respawn on the Phoenixes are a little bit offset, so that's good for them to be able to just rinse, repeat through all of them. They'll get the Gore Fury. Potentially, they just want to push up the lanes really now and keep Apollo and Loki from being able to, continue this. But the call for the left-hand side, while they've got this Fire Giant, is a good one just to get these Fire minions pushed up.
Yep. Go for the Fire Giant as well. I'd say it's a safer option as well, but basically it will be for free. If they go to defend the Fire Giant, Fire minions in all 3 lanes will be pushing down and just shred that Titan apart in no time flat. So COD Crusaders can pick that up, not really have to risk it. Yeah, we can look to get it in quickly, but we've seen many a team look to close out the game quickly, and then was it week 1 we saw the Titan survive at 0% health.
Yep.
So you don't want to find yourself in that spot where you give the enemy team a way back into the match if you don't have
you have the opportunity with Junipero to try and steal, and that's what you're kind of looking for. But it doesn't look like COD Crusaders want to do anything here other than just start pushing in all these minion waves. They've forced out another 5 minion wave in the left. They've pushed the minions in the mid lane again. Right's going to be pushing soon. They've decided that they're going to try and keep this pressure on here and force a fight one more time. There's Collateral going in.
PK Haste just explodes on that one in the back of a taunt, and the backside as well just will fall. That's right, a 2-man power play coming out.
That's
in
game.
favor of COD Crusaders, and they're probably going to be the game right here as they turn their attention to that Titan. Athena up in the air trying to drop down Cypher. Will find a kill, but the Titan just dropping way too quickly. It will be brought down, and COD Crusaders is going to take out the higher-seeded team, Noble Esports, and find themselves the first win for Group B of the round robin stage.
COD Crusaders did work that game. They get themselves top of the bracket alongside, I'm not sure who they actually played. They played Resist Gaming, wasn't it? Resist Gaming and COD Crusaders now tied after the first round 1 matchups. Round 2, you'll be seeing the results of shortly as we'll be heading our way into round 3 in a moment. But what a great game, honestly, coming out from the boys of COD Crusaders. They did really good work there. Good composition. They executed it well, and they really didn't let the enemy team into it whatsoever.
Nope. I love the rotations. They were on point. They did what they needed to do, and they came out with that victory. So like Hindu said, we have another game coming out of the round 3. I believe it will be the final one of the day, guys. So stick around for that. We'll be back here in just a few.